Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Mindful Productivity Podcast. I'm Chris, and I'll be your host today. And, well, every day that you listen, because we put out a new show every week. We'll talk about goals, about mindfulness, about productivity, and about how to do it all when adversity comes your way. Maybe overwhelm, maybe you fall ill, maybe one of your kids gets sick and you have to take time off and take care of them. Whatever it is, we got you covered. And I'm using the royal we because it's really just me. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Productivity Week, and today we're talking about getting things done when you're overwhelmed. And as moms, we're expected by society to do, be, and have it all together all the time. There's no room for dropping any of the balls we juggle: kids, spouses, parents, jobs, businesses, home. All of it has to be perfect all the time. Right? Wrong. Here's a quote from the book Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. It says, "If you saw Atlas, the giant who holds the world on his shoulders, if you saw that he stood, blood running down his chest, his knees buckling, his arms trembling, but still trying to hold the world aloft with the last of his strength, and the greater his effort, the heavier the world bore down upon his shoulders, what would you tell him?" I don't know. What could he do? What would you tell him? To shrug. Mama, it's time to shrug. Now, before you email me, yes, I know Atlas is holding the heavens on his shoulders or the sky on his shoulders, but the quote is still apt. It still works. Here's another quote for you from Madeleine Albright. "I do think women can have it all, but not all at the same time. Our life comes in segments, and we have to understand that we can have it all if we're not trying to do it all at once." There are times that I think doing it all at once is the very definition of motherhood. We have to take care of the kids, run the house, support our partners, please our bosses, show up for our friends, and look gorgeous all at the same time. It's overwhelming what we expect of each other and what we expect of ourselves. That stops right here, right now. Why you can't and shouldn't try to do it all. First of all, there are only so many hours in the day. If you spend 2 hours getting everybody ready to leave the house in the morning, half an hour on the commute to work, 9 hours at work, another 30 minutes on the drive home, 2 hours helping the kids with homework while you make dinner, half an hour eating dinner, an hour playing with the kids, half an hour on bedtime routines, 2 hours cleaning the house, an hour with your partner, and 8 hours of sleep, you've already hit 27 hours. And that's if nothing else is going on. No grocery shopping, no extracurriculars for the kids, no time with your friends, no crises crop up, nothing unexpected happens, nobody gets sick or has an accident or needs to see a doctor, nothing in the house breaks, your boss doesn't ask you to work overtime on an important project. No possible way you can squeeze everything into a 24-hour day. Something's got to give before something breaks. And I'm overwhelmed just listing all of that. What to do to avoid overwhelm? There are any number of ways to flex things, but first you need to do a brain dump. Write down absolutely everything you have to do in a normal, same old kind of day, from the time your eyes snap open till the time you pass out at night. Do not include any of the extras like grocery shopping, stopping by the bank, no outside appointments, nothing but home and work. Next, write down everything else you have to do in any given week. This is where the kids' soccer practice and piano lessons, your weekly trip to the super Walmart, date night, and girls' night out will go. Finally, write down everything else you have to do on a monthly or longer basis. doctor's appointments, oil changes, yard work, the school bake sale, balancing your checkbook, anything that has to happen less often than once a week. Now, you're going to feel overwhelmed when you do this. That's okay, because we're going to get you out of that feeling. Break it down. Take a look back at that daily task list. Divide it into two groups, things you personally have to do and things someone else could theoretically do. For example, do you personally have to fix the kids' breakfast every morning? No, you do not. Kids can get their own breakfast once they're old enough to grab a granola bar and a Go-Gurt, or pour a bowl of cereal and milk. They could microwave frozen waffles or get a bowl of fruit out of the fridge. You don't have to do any of those things for them. You personally have to get yourself ready for work. You personally have to work. You do not personally have to drive yourself there. You could grab an Uber or carpool so you can get your day started on the way to the office. You personally have to eat dinner with your kids. You do not personally have to make dinner. Older kids or your partner can cook. You can order takeout or delivery. You can hire a private home cook who sells homemade dinner to people like you, complete with reheating instructions. Prioritize your tasks. What's more important, finishing the Jacobson account or taking your sick kid to the doctor's office? Obviously, taking care of your sick kid wins that comparison. Figuring out what's most and least important can be as simple as A, B, C. Write down all the tasks that only you can do. Put a letter to the left of each one. Now start comparing them, one to the next, and so on. If task A is more important than task B, write an A to the right of task A. If task C is more important than task A, write a C to the right of task A. Go through your entire list this way. Then start counting letters. If there are 5 A's to the right of task A, that's the value of task A. If there are 4 B's between what's to the right of A and B, that's the value of task B. Always look to previous rows to include the count of the letter you're tallying up. This is called a paired comparison. So let's say I want to shave the cat, write a book, mop the walls, and make a cake. I list them with the letters in front, like this. So it looks like this. Let me make sure that this is showing up clearly. So I have to hold it right about here for you to be able to see what I've got going on here. So I've got A, shave the cat, B, write a book, C, mop the walls, D, make a cake. Then I start comparing. Between shaving the cat and writing a book, which needs to be done first? Well, the cat's fur is full of chewing gum and brambles, so I probably ought to shave him before I write a book. So I write A next to shave the cat. The same goes with mopping the walls and making a cake. They have less urgency and importance than shaving the cat. So 2 more A's go next to shave the cat. Do the same thing comparing write a book to mop the walls and make a cake. Then finally compare mop the walls and make a cake. Then you'll have something like this. Shave the cat with the 3 A's, write the book with a B and a D, mop the walls with a D because making a cake was more important than mopping the walls. Then you count up your letters. You've got 3 A's, the most of any letter, so A goes first. Then you've got 2 D's, so that'll go second on the list. Then 1 B and 0 C's, so they go third and fourth. So your prioritized list looks like this. A, shave the cat. D, make a cake. B, write a book. C, mop the walls. There's your order for pursuing tasks. Shave the cat first, then make a cake, followed by writing a book, and ending with mopping the walls. Break it down more. Now that you have your prioritized task list, it's time to get nitty with the gritty. What tasks do you absolutely have to do every day? Which ones could move to every other day or 2 to 3 times a week? Which could be done weekly or monthly? And what tasks do you really not have to do at all? For example, maybe your morning mindfulness practice includes journaling, meditation, and yoga. Could you do the yoga part every other day or 3 times a week? Or say you're cleaning the kitchen after dinner. Do you have to scrub down the hood vent every day? Or could it be done weekly or monthly instead? Or could you not have to personally clean the kitchen at all? Take a look at the tasks on the bottom of your list. Are there any you could drop entirely? Things you could delegate? Things you could pay someone else to do? Things that just aren't that important? Once you finalize your task list, to reduce overwhelm even more, break your tasks down into smaller, bite-sized chunks. For example, when you clean the kitchen, you rinse the dishes, you put them in the dishwasher, you wipe down the countertops, you wipe down the stovetop, you shine your sink, you sweep your floor, and then you mop. As you do these smaller tasks, you'll find more satisfaction in crossing them off your to-do list for the day. Schedule everything. To help get out of the overwhelm with procrastination, schedule your daily tasks in your calendar. To keep going with the kitchen example, you could schedule rinsing the dishes for 6:30, putting dishes in the dishwasher at 6:45, wiping down the countertops at 7, wiping down the stovetop at 7:10, shining your sink at 7:20, sweeping at 7:30, and mopping at 7:45. Make sure you schedule the bigger, more important tasks first, like work, spending time with your kids, and spending time with your partner. Most importantly, and I will point my finger and use my mom voice, schedule time with yourself to make sure you're not getting burned out or overwhelmed by day-to-day life, including a mindfulness practice every day. It doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy, but it does have to be on your calendar to eliminate analysis paralysis. If tasks are on your calendar, you don't have to decide every day what to do and when to do it because you've already made those decisions. Be mindful. In everything you do, be mindful. Be mindful of your time, mindful of your energy, mindful of your money, and mindful of your priorities. Be present in the moment, whatever it is you're doing. If you're helping your kids with homework, focus on helping your kids with their homework. Don't let your mind wander to work tasks, what you need to do tomorrow, what has to happen next week. Just spend that time with your kids. It's okay to multitask on some things, like cooking dinner and helping with homework, or cleaning the kitchen while you listen to a podcast, but don't try to do too much at the same time. Countless studies have shown that people suck at multitasking. All of us do. Every last one of us. That includes you. Be mindful of your time. To be mindful of your time, set alerts on your calendar that warn you 5 or 10 minutes before it's time to switch tasks. If you find the tasks are taking longer than you schedule them for, adjust your schedule. I've had to do this all the time. For example, the last week's blog post, I thought it would take me about 2 hours to write. It took me 3.5 hours to write. So now I'm scheduling 3.5 hours to write a blog post instead of 2 hours. I'll adjust as time goes on and I get in the rhythm of doing a blog post every week. Using your calendar in this way will help you stay focused on the task at hand, knowing that you'll get an alarm when it's time to do the next thing. Be mindful of your energy. Being mindful of your energy will help you schedule tasks more efficiently. For example, if you're a morning person, you could work on tasks that require more energy first thing in the morning, rather than leaving them till the evening. If you're a night owl, the reverse is true. After spending most of my life as a night owl, I have somehow managed to become a morning person, typically waking up between 3 and 5 every morning. 3 a.m. wake up is not fun, but it is what it is. So I started writing this blog post at 4:30 this morning. I had planned to write it yesterday, but the day got away from me and I didn't have time to sit down and write until about 8 o'clock last night. I knew if I started then, it would be absolute garbage. I'd just have to rewrite the entire thing today anyway. So I just waited. Be mindful of your money. Spend it where it makes sense to spend. For example, you could hire a housekeeper to come in once a week and clean your house from top to bottom for, I don't know, let's say $100, just for easy numbers. Or you could spend that $100 on paying your kids to do household chores, either per job or as a weekly allowance. It gets them in the habit of doing stuff around the house. It teaches them how to do the things that they'll need to do when they're grown up. And you can teach them the value of money, how to spend, how to save, how to tithe, if that's something that's important to you. Then you would have money left over that you could pay someone to cook those pre-made homemade meals for you so you don't have to cook as much. You could hire a nearby college student for absolutely no money at all to either do your laundry or babysit your kids in exchange for letting them do their laundry once yours is done. Absolutely free. Stop trying to do it all. Take a quick look over your list, keeping the 4 Ds of time management in mind. Do, delay, delegate, and delete. Do tasks are those that must be done by you and must be done now-ish. Delay tasks are those that you can put off to a later time or date. Delegate tasks are the ones someone else can do instead of you. Delete tasks are the ones you decide don't have to be done at all. This framework will help you reprioritize your task list to make it work more efficiently for you. With practice, you'll be able to categorize your tasks more quickly and help you be more mindful of your time, energy, and money. Getting things done when you're overwhelmed can feel like a Herculean task. You may feel like there's nothing at all you can do except curl up in bed with Netflix and a bucket of ice cream. Been there, done that. But I promise you can get things done. Not all of them, and certainly not all at the same time, but you can get things done. We'll see you next week. Hey, I'm back to ask you, is there anything you want me to talk about when it comes to goals, motivation, mindset, productivity, or mindfulness? Hit me up at chrisjudd.com and let me know. That's Chris, K-R-I-S-S, 2 S's, J-U-D-D, 2 D's, .com. Let me know. I want to hear from you because I want this show to be of benefit to you. Also, if you're interested in learning about the coaching that I do, helping busy working moms find extra hours in their day so that they can pursue those passion projects, spend time with their kids, and achieve big goals, all without hustle and burnout, you really want to visit me on my website. Let me know. Get in touch. We'll talk soon. Bye.